today. It's the even more fabulous Mother Love coming to you live and in living color. Well, as opposed to coming to you dead in black and white. We look like roadkill, and that's not pretty. Can't put lipstick on roadkill.
No.
And that's why we have this gentleman on the program has nothing to do with lipstick, has nothing to do with roadkill. It is all about him. His name, tell me if let me see if I get it right. Okay, what? Saidu Conteh.
The second time around was a little bit close. It's Saidu
Okay,
Conteh,
jump.
but I appreciate the effort. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. You are also known and do your work as Blessed Love. Let's find
Yeah,
out about Mr. Blessed Love. I love the
yes,
name,
ma'am.
first of all, and we all
Thank
are
you very
blessed.
much.
We all are. And tell me
Yeah.
about, because you grew up here in the United States, but your bloodline
Correct.
starts where?
First of all, thank you for having me on the show. I
That's
appreciate you
my
guys having
pleasure.
me, and I'm very humble and I'm grateful. So thank you for that.
It's our pleasure.
My line starts in Sierra Leone, West Africa. That's
Ah,
where I was actually.
mm,
I came here when I was 3 years old
oh,
with my father and my mother, who raised me. Not my
mm,
birth mother, but the mother I consider mother because I know no other mother. Because from age 3 till now, that's who instilled love and patience and adventure and appreciation and humility and all that stuff that makes you, you know, mm, yeah, that good stuff.
see
She
you,
gave
and
me
you
all
got
that.
she gave you good stuff. You got a smile on your face a mile.
Oh, she gave me some pretty cool stuff. That was a really awesome lady. She's no longer with us, bless her heart. But let me tell you, yeah, the most awesome soul I've ever met on this planet. And I'm truly blessed to have had her in my life when I did, because I wouldn't be who I am today, think the way I think, move the way I move, feel the way I feel. Like I shop the way she shops. My cabinets look like her. I can't become my mom,
Okay,
kind of
see,
thing.
and it happens, and it happens.
Yeah, yeah,
Wait till, and people don't understand. Wait till you get to be a certain age, and you walk past the
yeah.
mirror, you go, "Why do I look like my mother? When did that happen?
Well,
When did
see, the
that?"
thing is, she didn't give birth to me, so I'm not ever gonna look like her. But my attributes are a lot like her.
See, and that
That's
that goes. You know what? You didn't even have to say that crazy. You're not gonna look like her. You look like her. You feel like her. You feel her spirit. You feel your mother. Your
yeah,
mother's
okay,
body. Your mother's body got had to move. She had to move because that was
right,
she. And she done put
right.
all the decorations. Then she could put. You can't put up another hutch now. Okay, it's time for you to go on out there where you got.
Hold on,
Mm,
mother love, hold on.
yes,
Let me just tell you, she didn't give birth to me. That's why I
you
said
told me that.
my birth mother. Okay, okay. I'm just making sure we're on the same
Oh no,
page.
I
You're
got
absolutely
that.
right.
I got that part.
Okay,
Listen, sometimes that happens, and that's a good thing that happened because
I
you
got
know
you.
what love is like. You know what mother love gives to you.
Yeah,
You know how you received from her.
yeah.
That spirit is not gonna die 'cause unless you like
No.
1,100 years old.
Oh,
You gotta live
absolutely
long.
not. Absolutely not. Her spirit lives in me.
So
My purpose now today is was her purpose then. And as I've gotten older, I've noticed that my thoughts of my vision, how
mhm.
I put myself with certain people on this planet now is exactly what she was doing and how she lived her life prior to passing away, which is being very selfless and wanting others around you to grow and to make sure that their fire is never put out internally, that they have the blue chip inside them. And she always wanted that for people. She always wanted to show somebody how special they were on their own, in their own light, like
Mm.
not needing anybody else whatsoever. And she taught me that because, that's why, like today, the way I think and how I move and how I love and how I'm really involved in the things is because of her.
And so having that foundation put into you, built into you, when did you
Yeah.
know that you had this in your blood, that you knew that music was going to be what you stood on, and the power of music and the power of words? I mean, did you just wake up one day and said, you know what, I'm gonna be crazy, I'm gonna go into the entertainment?
Well, I didn't wake up
You
one
know,
day and
you
say,
know we crazy. You know we like,
"Oh,
look,
we're
you,
nuts,
this is what you gonna do for
nuts,
money. You can't make a
we're
living at
nuts."
this.
Listen, we are to be an artist, you have to be nuts in the fact that you have to believe, to be nuts and go against the
Mhm.
grain of everyone else saying that you're crazy. You shouldn't do that because it's all their insecurities telling you what you shouldn't do because they're not built like you. They're built like them. And so, far too often people listen to others and their thoughts and their opinions about them. And really all they're listening to
Mhm.
is all their insecurities about what they can't do, couldn't do, don't have the facilities within themselves to do. But we listen to that as a society. Sometimes, it's easier to say, okay, I'm just going to do what the status quo tells me to do. I've got this piece of paper that says I got a degree or I've got the certificate or whatever it is, and now the world's going to accept me here, and so I can keep pushing along. But then to be an artist and say, I'm going to create something and put my all into it and then release it to the world, and whatever comes back, whether it's good or bad, because not everybody's going to love you, it is what it is. But your purpose is to put something
Mhm.
out that hopefully affects some sort of change, and that's a scary thing. And yes, we're nuts for wanting to go down that road and accomplish that. But when it happens and somebody says, hey, cool, it's like, all right, that's what this is for. Those moments of that,
Mhm.
those humble moments when somebody hears a song and I didn't tell them that I made it, and they're like, that's really good. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. That one's cool. That's
That that
that's why I do this, is like those feelings.
and when you
And
jump
but
out
to
of
answer
bed,
your question, when did I?
when did it
Years ago,
start for
to
you?
really answer your question fully, it started back when I was 14 years old, actually.
Mm.
So when I went to this junior high school, and I met these other misfit kids like me, and so each one of their homes were a little disturbed like mine, and somehow we
Mm.
found each other at school. And so
Mhm.
after we found each other at school, we started talking, and we found ourselves after school hanging out and
Mm.
creating dance steps together and writing music and watching the news, thinking about how we wanted to change the world, and how government was so bad, and we were just those young, like, impressionable young kids that didn't quite fit in, with
Mhm.
everyone else, but we fit in with each other. And so I found a brotherhood of being creative, and being creative amongst other people that allowed me to be 100% me, and they appreciated that,
Mm.
and they were themselves, and we all appreciate each other. So that non-judgmental ability to be go around some other humans, say, hey, this is cool, what do you think, and we all sit in a way that's building and growing. That's when I fell in love with music, and that's when I fell in love with like being an artist, because that little misfit crew that I was in still
Mm.
lives in me, still lives in me, because when I meet other people, I meet other like-minded people that maybe don't quite fit in, but we think however we think, and that's it. We're just who we are. And that's what makes us special, to create and get constructive criticism on how to be better. Because we all know as
Mhm.
artists what we do wrong. We all know
Mm.
how we are. No one knows us better than ourselves. But, to just not let outside influences stop your fire from continuing to burn is the most important thing with being an artist also.
Ab- Absolutely. And oftentimes you can feel the fire, you can feel the burn. You want to show
Yeah.
it, show it. And the naysayers oftentimes really, just like you said, they're concerned. They're really not concerned about you. They're like, how can I pick you apart? Because you're stepping out on faith. You're going out here into
Yeah.
the world, living
Yeah.
your dream, yay or
Yeah.
nay. Because sometimes
Right.
you listen, if this was going to be perfect for everybody, everybody would do it. But
Right.
when did you
Absolutely.
get to that space where you went, okay, now we're gonna do this, and what are we gonna do, and how are we gonna do
Right.
it? And
Right.
people are gonna we're wackadoodles, but let's go do it anyway.
Right. Right.
How is
Right.
that?
Because instead of,
How is
yeah,
that
you're
feeling?
absolutely right.
How
You're
is
absolutely
that?
right, mother love. Absolutely right. Because we believe it.
Mm.
We believe inside that we have this thing and we have this gift that we want to share. Excuse me. And it's just a burning desire. Because all my life, I had children, life situations happened. I had money. I
Wait a
did.
minute, hold on. You got kids?
I do. I
Wait a
do.
minute. Did somebody know you got where you get that baby face from? And you got children? What?
Baby face? Hold on.
You
Let's go
got a
back here.
baby?
Baby
You,
face.
you look like a
Listen,
baby
I
face with a
appreciate that.
goatee.
I appreciate that compliment so much. They didn't tell you how old I was, Mother Love?
But okay,
Mother Love,
okay. I'm a guess. I'm a guess.
Okay, go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
maybe 31, maybe in your early 30s.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Hey, thank you, grandfather. I
Wait a minute.
appreciate you, grandpa. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay.
I'm 3 years old. I'm 47 years old.
That's like 3 away from 50. Okay. And you're
I'm
gonna
three
look
away
so
from 50. Exactly.
you're going to look amazing. I'm telling you, don't have
Thank
a
you.
wrinkle in your face. I mean, I'm like, how many children do you have?
I have 3 children.
How old are they?
My son's 27,
And you
and
got
my daughter is. I know. I know. I know. People. When I tell people that, and I have this face, they don't believe me. I understand. I know.
I
I've
wouldn't
had it all
believe
my life. Huh?
I wouldn't have believed you. I wouldn't have went 40
Thank,
nothing, let alone past 45. So I'm just letting you know.
thank you.
But you
Thank
know
you
what we
so much.
you
I
know what we say?
appreciate that.
Good black don't crack. That's why I'm
Good black.
brown and I'm staying
You're
right.
absolutely right. But I appreciate that, mother love. I appreciate that so much.
Oh, we got
Thank
beautiful
you.
people. It is my look. I can see I can see I'm a good eye. This one over here. I'm married. I'm not blind. I'm okay. So you have three
Right.
kids. Your
I
son is
got 3 kids.
27, 26.
My son's
We
27.
don't
My
know.
daughter is, excuse me?
Okay, you said your son is 27.
Did you say grandkids?
No. I'm saying, wait a minute.
Oh, I
Okay,
was like,
listen.
no.
I'm trying to hold on to the 47 with 3 kids. Don't shoot me at some more else stuff. Wait, okay. And now I'm done with your son being 27. What were you, 12?
I was 20 years old when I had my
Oh, you
son.
up, man.
Yeah, I
That's
was
what got
20
your
years
baby
old.
ready. Okay, and so tell me about the rest of your family. How do they think about you being in the industry?
You know, everybody has seen me grind and try to make it
Mhm,
over the years.
mhm.
And because of circumstance of life, again, when you have kids, you have to put things on the back burner. When family situations happen, you have to put things on the back burner. Also, I had a medical condition that happened to me back in 2017. I had a pulmonary embolism. And so I was in the hospital for 45 days straight. I had blood clots in my lungs. I have what's called an infarcted lower left lobe. So what that means is half or the bottom left half of my lung tissue is dead tissue because it was starved of oxygen while I was in the hospital because of the blood clots in my lungs. So I came out of the hospital with a half of a left lung not working properly and a little over 25 pounds, 25 plus pounds of muscle mass depleted because I wasn't doing any sort of physical activity and hardly eating much in the hospital because of
Good.
you're just IV drugs. So another situation that just recently derailed me from music and just kind of life in itself because I didn't think I was going to make it, mother love. I pretty much checked out in the hospital, made peace with God, and said, "Hey, if this is it, then okay. I've accepted the fact that I've run my course on the planet, and this is it. But give me one more chance to live, and I promise I'll be a better person. I promise I'll be a better person." And I promise certain things that used to bother me won't bother me anymore. I'm sure
Like
the things I
what?
used to think.
Wait,
Huh?
like what?
Just like
Like what?
just like as you grow up as a person, your thought process is a certain way. You haven't quite matured. Like as a younger man or the younger me, I probably paid attention to certain things and shouldn't have thought about it because it didn't have anything to do with my life. Paying attention to other things other than myself is what we all kind of come accustomed to in this life. And I just learned that self-love is more important than worrying about other issues I can't control in this world as we go through it. Worrying about self-love is more important than worrying about who's with who and who's doing what and how they're doing it, because at the end of the day, all the opinions about other things that don't matter in my immediate life, that affect my immediate life, I don't need to worry about. But we spend a lot of time as humans doing that, and we get caught up into it. So coming out of the hospital, I really just focused on making myself better, first of all, physically and mentally, because spiritually and physically I was broken. I
Mm-mm.
came out, didn't have a place to stay because I was in the hospital for so long where I was staying, you know.
Where did you come from? You never told me where you lived when you were growing up.
Oh, we kind of got into it pretty deep here. Where did I come from? I came from Sierra Leone, West Africa, and
No, where
landed.
did you when you were 3?
When I was 3 years old, I came from Sierra Leone, West Africa. Let's
Mhm.
back up. Let's back up. You're right. Let's back up, Mother Love. I came from Sierra Leone, West Africa, landed in Culver City in Los Angeles. My mother went to UCLA. My
Mhm.
dad went to school to become a mechanic.
Mhm.
Uh, they taught me at a really young age how to use the microwave, how to wash dishes, how to come in and out of the house, how to walk to school and walk back home on a safe path, who not to talk to, who to talk to, because they couldn't afford childcare and I was still super young. So I was so young that most kids were getting walked to school by their parents because I was so
Oh,
young. But
wow.
I didn't have the luxury of, having my parents walk me to school all the time. And so it was like, all right, kid, you got to grow up really quick. They had I was a latchkey kid, is what they called it. Somebody with a key around their neck.
Latchkey
So
kid.
I was a latchkey kid, exactly. I, I had a key around my neck, and I would walk to school, walk home, and take food out of the fridge, prepare it, microwave it if I had to, clean the kitchen up, get ready for them to get home. And that's how I grew up because, I didn't really have the option of being a young kid about things. I had to grow up really, really quick because of
Mhm.
how we came. Then my mother went to medical school at UC. While my dad and I stayed in LA while she graduated cost efficient Davis School on campus. We would go visit her every other weekend up the I-5.
But
So that's how I kept that relationship. What's that?
no, technically, I may need to move back a little bit from the mic because we're
Okay.
getting feedback, and I want to hear every
Okay.
one of these
Got
words.
you. Got you. And so we moved to
Okay.
Sacramento after she graduated college at UC Davis and became a
Mhm.
doctor. And so that's when my life in Sacramento started. And Sacramento's a great place. It's a beautiful place to raise kids. And I went to elementary. I went to junior high school there, college there. That's where I
Mhm.
started a family. But Southern California for me was home originally. And
Mhm.
something told me I was just always going to be here. So here I am back in LA. I lived in San Diego for some time after living in Sacramento for about 18 years. When I was
Mhm.
about 30 years old, I moved to San Diego, lived in the gas lamp, lived in all over Pacific Beach, La Jolla for a second, Golden Hills. And
Mhm.
while I lived in San Diego is when I had the real hankering to come back to LA and say, okay, I want to really pursue music again. Something bit me and said, listen, I kind of am skipping all over the place. I'm sorry, but I will go back to
No,
it.
no, no. I'm with you. We're with you,
Okay.
baby,
All right.
because all
All
the
right.
time
So
you can't,
you're with me.
you know,
What's that?
just do your thing.
Got you. Got you. Um, San Diego. So while I was living in San
Okay, I
Diego,
don't know what the reverb is. What?
possibly.
Yeah, I think it's you because I can hear feedback from you. Do you hear from
Okay.
me?
All right. So I don't hear any feedback on my end at all. So that's why I'm wondering, should I move back
Okay, see,
from
now
the
you sound perfect.
really? Okay. So maybe I should stay right here. How's that sound?
Stay
Is that
right
good?
there.
I'm going to stay right here. Is that good?
And don't move. Oh yeah, you're gonna tell us to not move. He already told me don't touch the. I have a you and
All right, man.
I have a don't touch the buttons.
Okay.
Don't. And I'm not
So
allowed to go out by myself either. Okay, so now here you are. You know, you're in the house. Did you have any health issues before this happened?
So when I got to the hospital, I had no health issues
Mm,
at all that I knew of.
mm,
So I
mm,
been to the doctor, clean bill of health. Never been told I had any sort of heart issues, any sort of lung issues. I'm not diabetic. I'm not hypertension. They said I was pre-hypertension, but I don't think that had anything to do with this because while I was in the
mm, mm,
hospital, they chalked it up to saying that I had a protein S deficiency, which I don't really know what that is. Well, I
mm,
didn't know what that was at the time. They really couldn't tell me because I was eating right. I was working out regularly. Everything was pretty much normal. Nothing was out
mm,
of place. I wasn't doing anything extra with myself. So
mm,
when it happened, it was a complete shock to myself and everybody after it happened because no one really knew I was in the hospital. I drove myself to the hospital, basically. I was in pain, excruciating pain, but I didn't know what was happening. So I woke up, chest pain, extreme chest pain, like, hot knives just going through my chest everywhere. And so each time I take a breath, um, I couldn't take a full breath, like when you want to yawn to relieve yourself.
Mhm,
I couldn't do
mhm.
that at all because with each breath, my lungs would expand, and that's when the pain would happen. So I get to the ER. I'm in the ER, and man, let me tell you, these people in the ER, they they were terrible. But once I got upstairs, I won't say that, but once I got upstairs, they started taking care of me.
Mhm.
I would wake up in the middle of the night with 104 fever, heartbeat at 135, 140, and a dead sleep. They would put ice packs all over me, underneath me, try to cool me down. I didn't know what was going on with me. So I just made peace at that point that I don't think I'm ever going to get out of here. And the Lord gave me an opportunity to get out of there. And when He
Wait a minute,
did,
hold on. Let me
uh,
get it out. Let me get it out. Just let me get it out.
what?
Oh, you gonna let me see why I chuckle heartedly. Because how are you? Do you really gonna think you gonna be commanding the situation while you lay in what you think is your deathbed, and now you want to barter with God? Well, if you just give me one more chance, just let me
Hey,
get
at the
one
time,
more. Like you
at,
running things, you ain't running nothing. God is in control. He was.
you're
He
right.
probably gonna bust out that. I don't know
You're
what I'm
right.
gonna do with that. I know exactly what I'm gonna do with this guy.
You're
That night.
absolutely right. You
Thank
are
you. I
absolutely
told
right,
you.
mother love.
I love it when people say, "Okay, so I really wanted to ask God." Wait, you don't ask you ask Him for forgiveness and guidance. Well, if you let me do that, I lose 100 pounds if you bring me a good woman. What? You don't get to barter like that. I'm just saying. Be quiet, mother love. Okay, go
You
ahead
know,
on with the.
in the moment, mother love, I tell you, I was asking for favors. I was asking for it. I was asking to give me another shot, and He did. So, and once I did have another opportunity, I really started tapping into myself because I had to learn meditation really deep. When I got out of the hospital, I kept thinking I was having a heart attack every other week, going back and forth to the hospital because my chest pains were crazy. My heart had so much work while I was in there that it was still calming down once I got out of the hospital. So I had to learn how to catch my breath and learn to breathe again properly. I'm in the best shape of my life now. I came out 171 pounds. I'm about 215 now. So I've gotten all my weight back. My body is in a great shape. I'm in the best shape of my life right now. I'm in better shape than I was prior to going to the hospital. Let me tell you why. While I was in the hospital, the doctor said to me, "You didn't die on Friday because you were really physically fit." And so I said to myself, "Oh, okay, if that's the case, because when you have muscle mass, your body's using that to fight whatever it is when you're sick." So I was working out rigorously prior to going to the hospital. So he said, because you had muscle mass and the type of way that you work out, it's the reason why you didn't die. I said, great. So now that I'm home, well, not home yet, but out of the hospital, my focus was just to get myself mentally in shape, physically in shape, spiritually in shape, and just to be a sound person again. Once I could start to do a push up and do anything, I just knew, okay, I'm on the road back to getting physically fit. Because if anything ever does happen to me again, I want to make sure that my body's able to fight it off. If that's what helped me while I was in the hospital, well, dang it, I'm going to go ahead and try to get in the best shape of my life so that if anything ever does happen again, I've got something it could fight it off with. And so
You
that's
got
what
a
I did.
foundation. You got a
Exactly.
foundation. You can't have a testimony without a test, baby.
Right.
And you were tested, and look at you pass the test and gonna be
Yeah.
standing in front of and be the love of the class because you knew about Jesus. And he was like, come on over here, baby.
I
I got
did. I did.
you.
I did. I did.
But
I had
as
to.
you were doing, go ahead.
Go
You
ahead.
had to do it because you had to do it.
Yeah, I did. I did. I had to face myself. I had to face a lot of who I was because, going through that, I really found out how tough I was and how tough I wasn't. And, it really made me do a lot of gut checking about who I was and what I really wanted to do with myself. Because if I'm going to do all this work to get myself in tip top shape again, I better do something with my life that's special, that's, that has a purpose. Because to do all of that and not have a purpose is, to me, it was just this is why I'm here. It's like God helped me rebuild myself, help me get to where I'm at, because now I'm doing the work that my mom used to do. Now I know that I'm going to continue that because of how I live today and what I'm doing and what I'm getting involved in and who's around me. And, it's a testament. What your parents put in you really is what happens if you pay attention to it. You know, I was raised with a lot of love with that lady, with that beautiful, beautiful woman. Uh, she instilled in me to go. She became a doctor. She's a component of why I'm into music is
Wait.
because of her. Why
Okay,
I'm an
scoot
artist.
back a little bit.
Yeah.
Scoot back a little bit from your mic.
Okay. Okay. Is that better?
Yes, that's better.
That's better.
Okay, so you were telling me about now who became the doctor? Because your mom was a doctor.
So my
You
mother
said,
became the doctor, and she said it took me 10 years to become a doctor. That was my journey. She said, whatever your journey is, if it takes you 10 years, if it takes you 20 years, if it takes you 30 years, hey, let it be your journey, but enjoy this ride, because along the way is where you're really living and how you're really learning. As long as you stay a sponge the entire time and realize that you're always learning and stay a sponge, you may accomplish a feat, you may get some money, you may get some sort of, status somewhere, but that's not the end all be all to whatever this thing is. There's more to it. And always know that there is more to it, and you have to stay patient with yourself to find those things, because it's always happening. We're always evolving. And so a huge component of my artistic ability or just wanting to be the best me is because of her.
mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
you're going to
yeah.
be the best you for the next generation and the next
Absolutely,
generation.
I have to. That's
It,
that's the reason why. Yeah,
it,
absolutely.
it's important
1,000%.
to put down footprints and put down positive footprints because,
Absolutely.
as you
Yeah.
said, what is poured into a child from the elders.
Yeah.
And I grew up in a village. Everybody knew all your business. You could not
Right.
go any place, do anything, know anybody. And if
Right.
your mom and them found out before you, oh my God, just kill me on the streets. Are you kidding me?
Right.
And to have that kind of foundation, because my mother left the planet a while ago. I'm still scared of her, you know. And
Of
they
course.
put
God
that
bless
fear
you.
in you, like, oh, I
Yeah.
expect you to excel. I
Yeah.
have these
Oh
expectations
yeah.
of you. Putting down these footprints. Now, if you sometimes you're gonna get your butt kicked, but let them know it ain't gonna be no easy win. And when you do that, how did it change you? Because you got to be in touch with yourself, and sometimes that's like people don't want to look at that stuff. In the mirror, buck naked, nothing. Weave on the corner, it's over there with it, the food. Okay, and then you say, "This is who I am." What was your biggest revelation to you that you found out? Because you said
My
you found
biggest
out you were stronger than anything and that you thought, and you were you actually admitted that you didn't have all the answers. How was that freeing for you?
well, the biggest revelation for me was, you're right. Didn't have all the answers, but I had to forgive a lot of what
Mm,
happened to me in the past for me to continue moving forward. Is really what it was, is knowing that I was continuing to grow, knowing that I have another opportunity, knowing that whatever I did in the past, whatever happened to me, happened and it's over. And I
mm,
can't continue to have that hold me, hold my talents, hold my thoughts, hold my adventurous way of thinking, my curiosities about life and what I want to do. Is really that whole thing of like, whoa, that happened to me. I can't keep carrying this burden with me. I can't keep having conversations with people in the same energy as if I'm still living that today. And that's what I had to learn, of like, whoa, I'm in a different place now. I have to
mhm,
evolve into this new place, and I
mhm.
have to get to know these new surroundings. And so these surroundings get to know me, and we can grow together. Otherwise, it's the energy doesn't fit. So that was it. Is like, I don't control anything, and I tried to control too much, and realizing that I tried to control too much. I will hands down. Hey, the reality is God slowed me down, put me in that hospital, and after He did,
Mhm,
and I'm
mhm,
back to where I'm at today.
mhm,
It's the craziest thing, because I would love to say I was using something or doing something and something happened. But you know what? What they said was one of the causes of it, leading causes, is sitting down for too long. People that are on plane rides, race car drivers get this,
Let me get up.
bus drivers.
I was a bus driver for many years,
When you sit,
and I didn't.
when you
I
sit too
drove a
long,
school
it's
bus. Yeah. I had
right,
66 kids each way. Oh yeah,
right.
and I was running things. I told them I know stuff and
I
I do
bet
things.
you were. I bet. I know. I
Oh,
bet you could. Yeah.
I
I
mean, you
know.
putting your child's life in my hand. Do y'all? You
Right.
really
People
66
are
of them at
trusting
a
you.
bad mama
People are
jamma. Don't
trusting
you
you.
tell
Yeah.
me nothing. I serve an
Right.
awesome God. He said, okay, that's enough of this. It's something you gotta go do something else. I'm like, but wait a minute. What I was doing fine with this. Okay, yeah, and I ain't gonna do better. See, that's how God
Right.
talked to me. Straight up, you
Yeah.
can hear the voice, you could feel the
Yeah.
spirit. I don't care where you are. God has been in
Yeah.
a gas station bathroom with me, putting on makeup, trying to look like I didn't walk out of a gas station bathroom to go and do a gig. So I know what it's like when God said, I done told
Yeah.
you. Oh,
Yeah.
so now I got to lay you up in the hospital for 45 days. Okay,
Yeah.
45 days. See? And
Yeah.
you learned about yourself and the relationships
Yeah.
that you want to have, having that power
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
connection. But when you saw
Yeah.
that, because I want to talk about your song, I listened to the cut, and then how come you only send me one? Okay, well, let's say that's your publicist.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Hold on. You've only.
Wait a minute.
You're supposed to have two. You're supposed to
What?
have two.
Oh, I might have
You're
to. I'm
supposed to
not
have
allowed
two
to
songs.
touch. I'm not allowed to touch the buttons. Okay, you might get one. So,
You're not allowed to
I'm
touch the
glad
weight.
you
So
laugh
wait.
in my pain. I am happy that you laugh in my pain. I have to go outside with the handler. I'm like, why
So
do
wait.
I
Let
have to
me
have
ask
a
you a question.
handler? And I keep my own bail money. I tell them all the time, I got bail money. You want to come on? Come with it. I'm not mother enough for no reason. I'm just telling. Because you know your mama could come like that and just look at you and
Yeah.
tell
Yeah.
you
Very
stuff.
much
You
so.
know, I can
Very
hear
much
you
so.
think I do not. What's the
Yeah.
biggest trouble you got in when you were a teenager?
Oh man. Oh man. Mother love. I could
Okay.
tell you about one. I could. You know what? I could tell you one right now that I don't think I've ever told anybody, and I'll tell you.
Well, tell me.
Okay. I mean,
Tell me.
I've gotten some bad
We're
grades,
not gonna
but
say. We're not gonna say.
big trouble.
Big trouble.
Big trouble. Big trouble.
So you just
Well,
a
it
couple
was an
of
accident. That, yeah, big trouble. Big trouble. So I wrecked my dad's car
Did your
one
dad know
night.
you had his car?
Huh?
Did your dad know you had his car?
He knew I had the car. Both my sisters, my stepsisters at the time, and their boyfriend. We were all headed to go see somebody in the hospital.
Mhm.
And it wasn't that I was reckless driving. It was me overcorrecting with the car because traffic switched really quickly. Somebody hit the brakes and I overcorrected and came back and traffic was flowing and we hit the wall and spun out. So, but the biggest trouble, actually, no, that's not the big. The biggest trouble I was ever in was I dated this girl years ago when I was young. She got in some legal trouble. And when she got in some legal trouble, they came to my house and handcuffed me and took me to my dad's house to search my father's house. Yeah, so that's the biggest trouble I've ever been in as far as big trouble, I guess you should say. They came and handcuffed me, took me to my father's house, and for a crime I didn't commit, but because I was associated with her, somehow I got thrown with it. I had to fight the case, and it was all done. It was called an accessory to whatever she did. And so to have me walked into my dad's house in handcuffs and them have to search my father's house and was the most embarrassing big trouble thing I can think of. Because other than that, it's that's probably
Yeah, that's about
yeah
pretty much all you need. You
yeah
know,
that's probably the
if
biggest thing that ever happened.
when the police handcuff you and take you to
Yeah.
your daddy's house,
No, they brought me
what
handcuffed. They didn't handcuff me there. They brought me handcuffed already. So my dad was like, "Yo,
to your father's house, so you walking in handcuffed
yeah, 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 yeah." I'm walking in the
and
handcuffs.
running into the wall. You all could have been seriously injured or dead. See, You like the cat that in the flood, he on top of the house, I'm like, Lord, send me a boat. Lord, send me somebody to rescue me. Send a boat. You know where I'm going with that story. He's like, Lord, help me get out of this. Lord, drop down the helicopter, got the wood ladder fight. Lord, send me this. He said, look, I done sent you a boat. You done ran into a wall. Y'all all could have been maimed or killed. Wake up, son, and then you go and take. See, that's when you know, and you say, okay, that is never going to ever happen again. Not in this lifetime. What did you learn about that when they brought you to your daddy's house handcuffed?
Oh, let me tell you. It was very
That's not
embarrassing, first of all. It was a very embarrassing because, well, see, I come from an African background. So,
fun.
when everybody found out about that in my family, I completely became the black sheep for real. That's when I became the black sheep of the African side of my family because it's completely frowned upon. One, I got arrested, to be arrested, to be handcuffed and brought to my father's house by the police once the family found out about that. Yeah, let's call it that I was the black sheep of the family back then, and you
You're
know,
a criminal. You bring disdain
no,
to the
no,
family.
no, I'm not a criminal. I just was with the wrong girl at the wrong time,
But see,
and
you know that's what's going through
at the
that's what's
time,
going through their kids'
and
head.
I got mixed up with it. But then after going to court, I went my way, she went her way. But it was a bad decision, and bad decisions like that never happened again in my life. That was a one and done. Uh, I was not in and out of jail, haven't been in and out of jail, not or anything of the sort, not on probation whatsoever. It was a mistake that happened when I was about 19, 20 years old. And man, let me tell you, it sucked, but it happened and it was a learning experience. Trust me, it was definitely, I have a squeaky clean record, mother love.
Oh,
Not a
honey,
criminal.
sweetie, I
Not a
completely
criminal.
understand. I mean, because
I'm a
your
black
parents can give you that look that
huh?
just bore a hole through your parents can give you that look, bore a hole through your brain. And you're like, why is this coming? And they can just look at you. And like,
Yeah.
can't you just beat me? I mean, what is the deal here? Let that be over, but and then they go past you. See, that's we have and kids, especially kids today, really don't understand uh the damage that this internet can do to them because they believe
Oh, yeah.
so much about
Yeah.
what's going on, and they are never out there seemingly to me out in the real world where they can actually touch people. And I want
Yeah.
to talk about touching people. Tell us about the song and about your recording career. And we're gonna wait a minute. I know the name of it. A Thing Called Love.
Yes. Yes. A
Oh, I
thing
like you
called love.
smile when I say that on your
Yes.
face.
Yes. Yes.
So tell
Because
me about that.
so thing
Oh wait, this women. Say it again. I'm losing the sound. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
me.
Your mic is going in and out. But
But you know
it's
what?
choppy. So I can hear you. Yes, that's
Okay, is that good? So
that's much better. So tell us about a thing called love, because we always think we know about love. We know everything about love, and there's so many broken hearts scattered across the universe.
there are.
And you come up
There's
with
a
something
thing called
love.
love for me is about the love of love, the frustration of love, the pain of love. Um, it all grew self love for myself because again, like going back to getting out of the hospital, I had to find
Mhm,
self worth once again in my life, and I had to get better physically and mentally. I had to mentally get rid of a whole lot of blockage that was happening to me, so I could start to love myself out of the situation, because I was
mhm,
so depressed mentally and physically, just gone, that all of the old stresses and frustrations that I used to carry, or things that I'd done that I was angry with myself of, I had to let
mhm,
go. I had to wipe clean because for me to get better, I had to truly start to love myself for the moments that I was in every moment.
mhm,
Because when I was when I came out of the hospital breathing, like right now we're talking, but we're not thinking about breathing. So imagine every minute, every second, you're thinking about every single breath while you're talking, while you're doing the dishes, while you're driving, while you're doing your thing. It becomes exhausting. So I had to get to a mental place where I could get my breath right. And I really just had to get my mind right. And so getting my
mhm,
mind to a place where I can keep my mind in a calm spirit and in a calm
mhm,
place where I could appreciate myself and the moments that I was doing whatever I was doing so I can continue to get better was where a thing called love really comes from, because I had to really love me to believe I could do what it is I set out to do and in that broken state. And so through that broken state, I said, okay, you got to believe in yourself. You got to love yourself. And to do that, I had to forgive myself, and I had to
Mhm.
forgive a lot of things that happened to me, whether I did it, whether other people did it to me, whether it was my father, whether it was whoever, whether it was a relationship I was in. I had to just wipe the slate clean mentally, because holding on to all of that wouldn't allow me to get to where I'm at today, with this feeling of just so much joy when I wake up every single day, that I'm able to breathe and I'm able to walk and I'm able to see and I'm able to talk and I'm able to say hello to people and touch them and allow them to wake up themselves and show that you're worth it. Like the lady, whenever I walk into the gym, she mops the floor, and she mops every single tile, and she's always cleaning the glass, and I always say hello to her if I see her, and even if she's all the way down the hallway, I'll walk up and say hi, because she mops the floor and she wipes the glass, but other people look at her as just a cleaning lady, and I look at her as that's a person that is growing, that needs love, that needs somebody to say, "Hey, hello, how you doing?" To acknowledge them, other than just the cleaning person. And so I go out of my way to do things like that now regularly, because not for any other reason, but it just needs to be done. We don't care about each other as a community anymore. We don't care about our neighbors anymore. No one
We don't
is about,
We don't
huh?
care about self. We don't care about self. That's why I thought you and I, this would be an important conversation for people to
Yeah,
hear, especially people who are, in that place and in that space where they
yeah,
feel like this is a wrap. I can't do this anymore. And
yeah,
wake up and go, why you keep waking me up? Because there is value in you. And when we don't even value ourselves, if you don't love you, how do I get to love you? And
right,
people have to know that. And there's still a lot of people with all
yeah,
the pain and angst that all of us are going through. There are still people that will say, "Oh, you only care about yourself, so you don't care about other people."
yeah,
You get accused of, "Oh, you
right,
want to be doing something brand new," and you go, "Well,
right,
yeah, I really want to do something brand new." So this toxicity goes this way. As
yeah,
one of my grandsons, the youngest one, said, he said, "Well, we got to get it out because you got to make room for some more else stuff." And I understood exactly what he meant. Even children can see that. And
yeah,
most of there's a commercial on about, I think it is a long commercial where the guy goes, he's on an oxygen machine and he can only go so far. And he
yeah.
says, greatest lie that you can tell is the one you tell yourself. And so
Yes.
many people are lying to themselves, not
Oh,
wanting to stand in that space of vulnerability and say, I know that I bring something to the table because I'm not coming to the table hungry. I'm coming to the table to help. Look what I bought. I made homemade rolls at the table.
yeah,
This is
yeah,
what we have to understand
yeah.
about you. Self-preservation is the first law of nature. And people think that's a
Yes.
self.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Did you read that behind me? Did you read that behind me?
Oh yeah,
Did you
you
read?
you you got that. That's my uncle. One of my uncles. I had great uncles. Well, I still have uncles.
Yeah.
And one of them said we were talking, and he's just like a little bit older than I am. And we were talking. He said, "People gonna think you selfish," and I'm telling you, baby, it's all right to be selfish. Self-preservation is the first law of nature. Somebody out there in the
Yeah.
ether, they wrote it. You can look it up. And I thought, if I don't take care of me, how do I get to take care of you? And you think about
Yeah.
when we say we don't have
100%.
control over stuff, and then we get mad because we don't have control over it. You're glad
Yeah.
that the pilot got control over the plane, and the lady that put down,
Yeah.
the flight attendant that said, "Put on your mask first, and then help somebody." Because if you stop breathing out, you're gonna help the next person.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you seem to,
Real.
you're
Yeah.
so
1,000%. thousand
okay.
percent.
You want to introduce the song?
That's
You
that.
want to introduce? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Saidu Conteh. Did I pronounce it right that time?
No, no, it's Saidu Conteh.
I see. That's what I said. They say the U is not silent. I'm like, that can't be a silent. When is the U silent?
No, it's Saidu Conteh. Yeah.
Saidu Conteh. I said that. See
Saidu
what I got the
Conteh.
last
Now,
one.
do you have two songs, Mother Love, or do you have one of my
Uh,
songs?
I, look, they told me push the button on one
Okay,
song.
don't push the button. Don't push the button.
I'm no, I gotta push the button. I can only push this one, ladies and
Okay.
gentlemen. Saidu Conteh.
Conteh. Thank you.
Contact. Well, I say
Conteh.
contact.
Yes, man.
I think
I
I
appreciate you, mother love.
tap right there with my brain. Is.
I appreciate you so
Oh,
much.
I love you. Wait, here we go. No,
You
I
remind me
want
of
to.
my friend's mother. Her name is Pam.
Pam,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
she's still alive, isn't she? It
She
won't
Pam
play now.
Pam is still alive. Pam is
Okay,
still
cool.
alive.
They always say you look like my dad, Aunt Sally. Can I look like when you're alive?
No,
But
Pam is still alive. She now is somewhat
it's
of a
not
mother figure to me here.
funny. And
Yeah.
so, well, that's a good thing because you say Pam with a smile on your face. I don't
Oh,
want to look
Pam's
like my
amazing.
Aunt
Oh yeah.
Jane.
No, no, no,
I
no, no.
smell
Pam's
softball.
amazing.
But can
Pam
you
gives it to
send
you real. Pam
can
gives
you
it to you
send
straight.
me? They didn't give me the Hollywood handbook when they sent for me to come out here. So what they get is who they get.
Yeah, yeah.
I ain't got time. Mr. Engineer. I hope he didn't leave me in this room by myself. Oh, I don't tell him what I'm liable to say right now. So let me ask you. You got 3 kids, and are you married? 'Cause you got to
I'm
ask.
not married currently. I'm currently
Oh,
not married.
you did it already.
What's that?
You okay? You did it already. The whole married thing.
Yeah, we've married, divorced, single, pursuing business and pursuing music career.
Okay, 'cause
Trying to be the
you did
best friend, the best, you know, brother, father, everything, just the best me regularly. Um, you know, yeah.
So I like that you say me regularly because people want to go all off the rails, and then you get it's too much. Well, I got to do the work. Why can't I just have
Nah,
it? Why don't you
day
listen
by
to me?
day. It's just taking it day by day. It's a process. Listen, life is an improv. Every single day when we wake up, I don't know who I'm going to talk to first. I don't know the conversation I'm going to have first, second, third, whatever the case may be. But I do know this. Every single time I step up and have a conversation with somebody today in my life today, I make sure I bring my foot forward.
We've been having that issue.
So I know
Oh, wait, and this is
the best parts of ourselves to make that moment the best it could be or should be. And so we always do that, but people don't realize that's a simple thing that we do on a regular basis. And depending on how you're built, with whatever tools you have, or don't have, or are learning, then you know, hello, mother love, hello, what happened? I guess we're off. So, okay, I guess let's call him.
okay.
Oh, there you are.
There I are. And
There you are.
I didn't touch the button. Okay, I touched the button.
I'm so glad you came back because I thought I was like, wow, was I talking too much or
Yeah,
something?
I no, it's my bad. I touched the button. Yeah, and you're still, we can still, no, you and I could chat for probably days. And
Oh, oh, you and me could, yeah, we could have some dinner together and chop it up for sure.
okay,
I
yeah,
love your vibe and energy. Oh, for
yeah. Do
sure.
you cook? Can you cook?
Mother love, I gotta eat. I gotta eat. Okay, I gotta
What?
eat. So that means yes,
Oh,
absolutely, yes,
see,
1000%, 1000%. I'd love to have
I
you over for dinner one day.
see, I love a man that, well, I love a man that can cook, and I love a man that I don't want him close to the stove. Like he tell me, don't touch the button, don't touch, get out my kitchen. I had to put him out every day. I'm like, dude, will you
Wow.
just get? You cannot cook. He can make breakfast though. He's learning to make breakfast.
He's learned
It
to make
could be
breakfast.
grits, scrambled eggs, turkey bacon, turkey sausage, and toast.
All right.
That's
Get
it.
some
That's as
pre-made
far
rice
as
on the toast.
I won't go hungry. That's for
All
sure.
right.
That is
All right.
really what's your specialty dish?
Oh, mother love. Okay, so I do have a go-to dish. I can cook different things, but my go-to dish is a dish that my dad taught me how to cook.
Uh,
Because I learned how to cook from my father.
mm.
One of the really cool things he gave me was that I was watching him cook. It's called a peanut butter soup. All right, and so
Okay, wait. Peanut butter soup. Okay, go ahead on. I'm just letting that
I did
marinate.
say that.
Okay,
Yeah, I did say
go ahead.
peanut butter soup.
Okay, okay.
I do say that sometimes, and people are like, "What peanut butter soup?" Yeah, it's actually really good. If
Okay.
you're not allergic to peanut butter, it's
Mhm,
really nourishing.
mhm,
So I put a bunch of different veggies in it, different meat, chicken or beef or both.
mhm,
It's got some peanut butter in there. You put some tomato paste in there because that's what bonds it together to give it its nice little creaminess, and that over some rice. So it's so good. It's one of those things when I need comfort food, and because I can make all kinds of other stuff, but that
mhm.
takes a little bit of time and chopping up the vegetables. It's kind of a meditative thing I do of making sure everything's chopped up right, prepared
It's-
right, because that's what I used to do as a kid. So when I was younger, when I was out playing, my dad would have me come in, chop up all the vegetables, and then he'd continue to cook. So that's
mhm.
where I learned how to cook. Is when I moved out of the house, I need to eat. So I go to the grocery store, chop up some, buy my onions, my bell peppers, my green onions, my
Mhm.
whatever, and come home and chop it all up and prepare it all and have a meal. So that's
See.
one of
Okay.
those meals I look forward
Just
to
F,
cooking. And
just FYI, I am going to make me I'm just going to make a small. I'm learning how to cook for two, and it's very
okay,
difficult. I always make too much food, and I thank God I got a deep freezer because cooking is very calming. And when you're cooking, from taking the flour and whatever it is to bind it together,
yeah,
it's very cathartic. I liken it a lot like sex with a giant orgasm because when you're chopping it up, the only thing with the food and when you act getting ready for you're not thinking about anything else on the whole planet. I give a crap about global warming. Wow!
love this lady.
I didn't just say that.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Because
I mean,
listen.
that it is what it is. My husband
You're
and I've been
right.
together 50 years, and he don't never know which way, what kind of bag I'm getting ready to have for the day. He like being married to another woman almost.
Mother love.
People,
Mother
I can talk
love.
about that. See, grown folk, this grown folk talk.
Hey,
People act like that. I'm all scared. Cooking is extremely
I like talking to
cathartic.
you. See, I like talking to you because see, at home with my mother, that's the thing. I learned communication again from my mother. And let me go back real quick to her because I can't
Mm,
stop going back to her because she is me and I'm her.
mm,
Um, Communication. I learned how to communicate through her because when I was young, I was about 9, 10 years old. She was giving me some advice about something, and then she said to me, and this is when I really understood what communication was. She said, "Son," and she put her hands in her lap and she said, "Now I need your advice." And I went, "Damn, this is what communication is. This is what communication is. Two people that trust each other to
mm,
tell each other things about themselves." And she trusted in me to give her an honest opinion because she knew what she'd already instilled in me. That's
mm,
when I was like, okay, this is what communication is. And that's what I've been searching for
mm,
in my life. So, and solid people. I've found it in certain people, not everybody, but those
mm,
people that were friends are now like family to me. They are because there's a certain attribute about people, whether they're your blood or not, that I consider a family entity. It's a certain feeling, it's an energy. You know it. You know when somebody's good for you, you know when
mm.
you're good for them. It's just something you don't need to say. You just know it and you treat it as such. And that's just it. That's when I learned communication is when she did that at that young age. It was like, okay, this just being straightforward, no BS, no bullshit, no nothing. Okay, wow. And being completely open myself and knowing I had the confidence to say anything I had to, and she was only going to give me constructive criticism, not ever try to tell me what I was thinking was wrong or whatever. No, she was like, okay, well, if that's what it is, let me explain to you why you're thinking that, and let me explain
See,
why this is probably happening, and
and
never just
girls are not raised like that. Guys,
mm,
they could say what they want. Oh, my children are equal. I love each and every one of them the same. No, you don't. And don't be
yeah,
lying to your child.
yeah, yeah. All your
You
children are
know
not
who's
equal.
mom and dad's favorite. Don't even. And I knew I wasn't a favorite. Well,
Right,
not
right.
kind of growing up, because I got into a lot of trouble. What they called it trouble, and I had to pay
So
for it. None
why
of
did
that.
you think that you're not the favorite? Why you knew you weren't the favorite? How
It's
come?
like six of us. Are you kidding?
Oh, okay. All right.
She
Well,
she went in
yeah.
a group. Listen, we caught scarlet fever together. We all had measles together. We all
Yeah.
had chickenpox
Yeah.
together. Come in and breathe on your brother, sister. Something you got to do this one time.
Right.
Big we're going. I'm like, you're telling us to get a disease together. That's how.
Yeah.
And we were all they.
Yeah.
So you got a sibling, don't you? And they know which one it is.
I listen, mother love. I have one sibling from
Mhm,
both of my mom and both.
mhm,
Excuse me. Both my mother and father in Sierra Leone. I have one sibling. She lives in Texas now.
mhm,
Now I have other siblings with my birth mother that stayed in Sierra Leone. He had was remarried to another man, had other children. So I have step brothers through my mother in Sierra Leone still. But my natural sister, my only blood sister, she's in Texas, and we didn't grow up together. Actually, we she lived there and I lived here, and then she came when she was an adult, and then moved to Texas and
mhm.
did her thing, and now she's got a community out there of other Sierra Leonean people and friends, and I'd like her to move out here, but she doesn't want to because that's her home. So
It's hard to get
I mean, her
somebody out. Tell her I'll take her place. I can't went to Africa and I did very, very well in Africa. And I found out I'm not a black person. And people in Africa are not black. We are brown.
yeah.
We are so I mean, I saw the most beautiful people I had ever seen in
Where'd you
my
go?
We
Where'd you
went
go?
to Dakar, Senegal, West Africa.
Okay,
Right, Dakar. That's in Africa. Yeah,
okay,
that's in
the
West Africa.
car, the car.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
when
yeah.
we were over there, I could not go. I thought I was gonna die going to the doorway of no return where these ships backed up and with the people. I mean, it was 300 women and children in a room about literally this big, stacked like
Wow,
this, and they had to
wow,
drag me in because I could still smell the blood in the walls and the bricks.
wow,
Just hundreds of years later, yeah, it was a life learning experience, and they had to
wow,
drug me to get me out because I said, "I'm home. I'm not going back there. Y'all can forget that." Next thing I know,
wow,
drink this, honey. Well,
wow.
woke up out halfway over the Atlantic Ocean because over yeah. Where did we go? The Atlantic Ocean. Yep. And I said they was going out. That is where when you said we're not blood relatives, we are all blood relatives. All of
Yeah,
us. We're only
yeah,
we separated. So
yeah.
you marry your first
So true.
cousin, baby husband, little girl. That's something. And we don't look at family like that. Look, we go get play cousins and play sisters as if we
Right,
don't have enough crazy people
right.
in our family. What would
True
you like?
that.
Have you been back to Sierra Leone?
I went back to Sierra Leone when I was 11, 12 years old.
Mhm,
Um, that was the last time I've been back to Sierra Leone.
mhm,
In contact with the family on a regular basis.
mhm,
Building a house. Well, my sister and I are building a house for my mother there now. Just rented her a place so that while we're building the house, she can, live in a habitable place.
mhm,
So it's a blessing to be able to do that with my sister now in life, because my sister and I didn't grow up together. We grew up distant, and we're
mhm.
still distant. But we both realized in our age that we are the only original brother and sister that we have, and that's the only mother that we both have, and we both have come together and started this process of building my mother a house, which is extremely humbling. I'm grateful to be able to have the ability to do it and the wherewithal to want to do it, and it's all humbling, and it's God again just bringing everything back to where, as long as when I started really loving myself and knowing I was the king of my own castle, my own surroundings, and my own thing, and I better take care of me properly. Then, once I really started realizing that and really verbalizing that out, then amazing things started happening in my life because I realized I need to put myself on a pedestal mentally, not to be arrogant, but I needed to say, "Hey, you're
Oh,
amazing. You're an amazing person. You deserve this. You deserve this job with these people. You deserve these opportunities. Yes, you deserve these shots that you're given, and stop thinking that you're not worth it because of whatever mistakes I made in the past." And I had to
mhm.
forgive myself and say, "You're worth it. Who cares what people are going to think about what you've done in the past? You got to just do this now because we got people counting on you. I got family counting on me. I got people back there. My mother, everybody else, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews are all there. I didn't grow up with family here. I grew up
And look
alone,
at
single child."
look at how you have blossomed. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Saidu Conteh. Conteh.
Thank you. Conteh, thank you so much. I
Thank
appreciate
you,
you.
Harlan. It is my pleasure. Okay, the next time you come on, I didn't mean to touch the button.
I definitely hope I can come back on. I've had a great time. I'm looking forward to more of these talks with you. Please have me on again. I look forward to the invite again because this has been awesome. We've just touched a little bit, and there's so much more for us to talk about and to really get out. And I really love this energy. Thank you so much.
Somebody understands me. I told you at the beginning, we crazy people. I like that innocence, baby. I like that innocence. Love, peace, and blessings. And may the universe continue to open up and conspire for your great success. We will talk again.
I appreciate you so much. Self-love makes
Thank
the
you,
world go
Harlan.
round.
Thank you. See what the world needs now is love, money, love. You see, I spent the money for my singer.
What the world now is love, love. Have a great day, Mother Love. What the world needs now is more love that I know, What the world needs now is... Turn your mic up. What? Oh, wow, that's... Turn your mic up or something. Oh, shit. Damn. Can't hear? Can't hear me? You couldn't hear me, bro? You couldn't hear me? Really? Oh, damn. Whoops. You didn't hear me? No. So. Are you excited? Actually, it's today. See, the interview was today. Actually, the interview was today. It was awesome. It was awesome. No.